Good day, everyone. I am Christine, the moderator for this webinar. I welcome everyone for today's webinar that is 3 hours FDA Audit Preparation Virtual Seminar Session 1. I would like to introduce our presenter for today, Charles H. Paul. George H. Paul is the president of CH Paul Consulting Incorporated. I would now like to hand over the floor to the speaker. Over to you, Charles.
Thank you, Christine. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our webinar today. As you can see, FDA audit preparation, inspection, conduct, and do's and don'ts. Let me just basically introduce this subject here. So basically, if you are in any regulated business, whether it be pharmaceuticals, whether it be medical devices, whether it be biologics or foods, you're certainly going to experience an inspection by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Now, the outcome of those inspections can certainly have a grave, significant impact on your business, even if you and your colleagues have done everything right. So how you and others prepare for those inspections and behave and interact with those FDA inspectors that come and knock on your door can have a significant impact on the results that they report. Now, interacting with inspectors is not a natural behavior. Effective techniques must be learned and mastered if those inspections are to have positive outcomes. Now, today we're going to discuss today and tomorrow, we're going to discuss a myriad of topics. Beginning with the basics of inspections, the types of inspections that occur, what are some of the consequences of noncompliance that can occur, who the FDA inspects, basically how good manufacturing practices plays into that inspection process, who are the inspectors, and we'll look into the mindset of the inspectors themselves, and we'll look at some of the investigation reference documents that the FDA uses for their own inspectors and how they can certainly help you prepare for your inspections. How to prepare. We'll talk about the preparation process. We'll talk about QSIR, which is the Quality System Inspection Readiness Approach or process. We'll talk about the basic importance of records and documentations and how they play a significant role in the inspections that you receive. CAPA and the FDA inspection. CAPA is a significant area of inspection and a significant area of findings for the FDA every year, so we'll touch upon that as well. We'll talk a little bit about data integrity. Then we'll go into the inspection process, a day in the life of, and then we'll end up today with talking about some of the end up tomorrow talking about some of the personal behaviors that should and should not be exhibited during the inspection. So that's really what we're going to be doing over the next couple of days in the two sessions that we have. It's important to set the stage, that you understand the inspection process, its purpose, and how the process works before we deep dive into the specifics of the process itself. Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, plays a pivotal role in safeguarding public health by regulating various sectors within the life sciences industries, including pharmaceuticals, biotechnology, medical devices, and dietary supplements. Now, central to its regulatory framework is the practice of conducting inspections of your manufacturing facilities, of your laboratories, and your other relevant establishments. Now, these inspections, they serve as a crucial mechanism for ensuring compliance with regulatory standards and good manufacturing practices, thereby upholding the quality, safety, and efficacy of products that you make available for sale to consumers. FDA inspections are typically unannounced and encompass a comprehensive review of all aspects of production, from the sourcing of raw materials to the distribution of finished products. Now, during these inspections, FDA inspectors meticulously evaluate your facilities' adherence to regulations governing sanitation, quality control, record keeping, data integrity, and product testing, just to name a few things. So by scrutinizing these critical components of manufacturing and distribution processes, the FDA, what they do is they aim to identify any deviations or deficiencies that could compromise product quality or pose risks to public health. The FDA conducts various types of inspections to really assess compliance with regulatory requirements. FDA inspections are conducted by trained investigators who are authorized to examine various aspects of your facility, of your laboratories, of your processes, whatever they might be. The FDA employs various methods and criteria to select establishments for inspection. Who are the inspectors? Who are the people that actually come to your facility? So FDA inspectors are often referred to as FDA investigators. They are skilled professionals that are tasked with the crucial responsibility of conducting these inspections of your establishments, of your processes. Form 43. So what is that? So the FDA Form 43, officially titled Notice of Inspectional Observations. It serves as a critical tool for documenting observations of noncompliance with regulatory requirements identified during inspections of your establishment. Now, the purpose of the Form 483 is to provide you with a written notification of any deficiencies, any deviations, or any observations that were noted by inspectors during the inspection. So what are some basic critical inspection mistakes? Companies undergoing FDA inspections really encounter various challenges and pitfalls. We can pick up the rest of this certainly tomorrow. About the inspection process, the types of inspections that are conducted. We talked about the documents that are, interestingly enough, you asked a lot of questions about them, so that's really great. That are available, those documents that are available. And we've talked about how the inspectors themselves. We've tried to get into the heads of the inspectors, but to look at the mentality of the inspectors and what they do, how they learn, how they process, how they prepare. And we started to talk about inspection preparation. Tomorrow when we come back, we can finish up here and get into the areas of that are more in the weeds in terms of what the inspection process is, and certainly the do's and don'ts of the actual in the weeds, on the ground interaction with the FDA inspectors. So on that note, have a good day. I'll certainly see you folks tomorrow, same time, same place.
Thank you, Charles. That concludes the session for today.
Thank you very much, Christine.
Thank you, everyone, for participating. You may all disconnect now. Have a great day ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. If you recall from yesterday, we did a bit of foundation laying for the inspections in terms of who gets inspected and the process for the selection for people to be inspected. Essentially, BMO stands for Bioresearch Monitoring, and that's the FDA's program that is designed to really ensure the protection of the rights and safety and welfare of human subjects that are involved in FDA-regulated clinical trials. And their intent is to evaluate the activities of these groups, the sponsors, the monitors, and the contract research organizations that are involved in conducting and overseeing the clinical trials. Now, the area of focus here, the inspections essentially review the management of the trial, including the protocol adherence, data collection processes, and monitoring practices. They also assess the adequacy of trial oversight by the sponsor and the monitor. And here we're talking about good laboratory practice, or GLPs, and the purpose here is to evaluate non-clinical laboratories like those conducting studies in animals or in vitro systems for compliance with good laboratory practices. The key regulatory actions from BMO inspections are essentially almost the same as any other inspection. Obviously, Form 483s, we're looking for violations of the Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act. Warning letters if those violations are significant. The BMO program also involves providing guidance documents and training. How do we use this BMO program to prepare for an inspection? Essentially what we say is to do the right things right here. So companies really can ensure a very smooth inspection process by following a few basic best practices. Let's talk about how we maintain our records and our documentation. They serve really as the backbone of any life science company. Obviously providing a comprehensive and verifiable account of every aspect of its operation. What essentially is the regulatory expectation? Now, how do we ensure that our documentation is compliant? So ensuring that documentation is compliant with those regulatory requirements is really essential. Writing standard operating procedures and work instructions that are compliant, and CAPA issues and preparation. So in terms of corrective and preventive actions, the CAPA certainly plays a very pivotal role in regulatory inspections within the life sciences. To CAPA, as you can see here, it's an approach. It's a systematic approach to problem solving, to identifying, investigating, and addressing non-conformances, to addressing your quality issues and whatever potential risks are out there. Now, what are some basic CAPA pitfalls? Number one, passing every single issue through the CAPA system. Lack of training on CAPA-related tools. Not identifying the root cause effectively. Not having the right people involved in the CAPA process. What else do we have? We have lack of verification methods. Lack of traceability. You have improper documentation. Not having a culture of continuous improvement. Not executing the CAPA in a timely manner. A word about effectiveness checks. Have all of the objectives of the CAPA been met? Have all recommended changes been completed and verified? Have appropriate communications and training been implemented to ensure that all relevant employees understand the situation and the changes that have been made? What does the FDA look for? Now, the FDA has several tools at their disposal to evaluate an organization's CAPA system during their inspection. The basic inspection prep for CAPA and how we deal with that. So the best way to approach the CAPA inspection is obviously to prepare. Now, let's talk about data integrity. So data integrity is really crucial to us in this business. So what is data integrity? It refers to the accuracy, reliability, and consistency of data that contribute to maintaining data integrity within the life sciences. Now, what are some basic elements of data integrity? Now, a word about orphan data, because that word often comes up. Now, orphan data refers to data that are not properly recorded, documented, or attributed to their source within a regulated facility's records or system. Now, what are some of the common data integrity violations? Number one is failure to maintain complete data derived from all laboratory tests that have been conducted to ensure compliance with established API specifications and standards. What else are we talking about here? Let's look at a day in the life here. Now, here's basically what happens on the day of an FDA inspection. Now, a couple of things to remember. Again, documents and records really form the heart of what you do. So they will want to review your documents and records that really are part of your quality management system. Now, there are several documents that cannot be reviewed by inspectors, and it's important to know what these are. So at the completion of the inspection, an exit interview is conducted. Now, that Form 483 is issued when any conditions have been judged by the inspector. The 483 presented at the completion of the inspection is not the end of the day. It's not the end of the game. When they get back to the district office, they complete an EIR, which is the Establishment Inspection Report, that they normally begin on site. The report is next forwarded to the agency headquarters, where they will certainly evaluate that document further post-inspection. At the completion of the inspection, the company representative should prepare a written report and maintain a file of the subjects, operations, documents, and activities that were inspected and are performed during the FDA investigation. Now, let's talk about some basic personal behaviors as they relate to these inspections. Now, during an FDA inspection, interpersonal behavior and communication really plays a crucial part in shaping the dynamics and the outcomes of that inspection process. Now, what are the behaviors that we need to exhibit? So we talk about doing the right things right? So to reiterate here, always be professional. Now, there are several body language postures that are available of which you need to be aware. One is the truthful posture that you should always exhibit. And when answering questions, there's a process involved in doing that and doing that effectively. Always avoid language that such as words such as typically, normally, generally, and usually. Now, the last slide here, as we come to the end of our presentation today, deals with hostile and with difficult inspections and inspectors. Follow up appropriately on any issues or concerns that were raised by the inspector. Now, on that note, folks, we are at the end of our presentation. So on that note, I'd like to thank everybody for sticking around for 2 days. I appreciate it. Hopefully we've given you some information, and then I'd be pleased to thank you all for participating today.
Okay, thank you, Charles. That concludes the session for today. Thank you everyone for participating. You may all disconnect now. Have a blessed day.